The crash. She fell from the sky. It was just after midnight when the sky broke open. A bright flash cut through the clouds, followed by a loud burning sound. People in the nearby town looked up and saw something fall, a ball of fire, flying fast, leaving smoke behind it. Then came the boom. The ground shook. Birds flew in panic. Jack Reynolds, a young soldier on night patrol, was sitting in a small outpost with his team. When the alert came in, everyone jumped to attention. Unidentified object crash reported, Sector 9. Move now. Jack grabbed his rifle and ran to the truck. He had seen many things during his training, but this felt different. This didn't feel like a drill. Something real had fallen. The forest was dark and quiet when they arrived. Smoke rose in the distance. Jack and 2 other soldiers moved carefully toward the crash site. The ground was warm, trees were broken, and the air smelled like burning metal. Then they saw it. A strange pod, silver and black, was half buried in the dirt. It was not from Earth. Jack's team leader, Sergeant Miller, raised his hand. Secure the area. Check for survivors. Jack moved closer to the pod. One side was broken open. Inside, he saw movement. Someone or something was trying to crawl out. It was a female figure, covered in dark armor. Her skin was a pale blue. Blood, dark and thick, ran down her arm. She looked up. Her eyes were wide and glowing softly. "Stop right there," Miller shouted, aiming his gun. "That's an alien. Orders are clear. No survivors." Jack stood, still. The alien was injured, weak. She wasn't holding a weapon. She didn't attack. She just stared at him, afraid. She looked more lost than dangerous. "Jack, shoot her. Now," Miller barked. Jack's hands shook. The alien was breathing hard, trying to stay alive. She didn't say anything, but her eyes were speaking. They were asking for help. He remembered something his father used to say. Being human means doing the right thing even when it's hard. Jack lowered his gun. "What the hell are you doing?" Miller shouted. "I won't kill her," Jack said. "She's wounded. She's not fighting us." "She's a threat." "No, she's scared." The alien collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Jack rushed forward and picked her up. She was heavy, but he didn't stop. He looked at Miller one last time, then ran into the trees. "Reynolds, that's treason. You'll pay for this." Jack didn't care. He only knew one thing. If he left her there, she would die, and something deep inside told him. This alien didn't fall to Earth to fight. She came for another reason. He ran for miles, deeper into the forest, holding her tight. His legs burned, his heart raced. But he didn't stop. Far away, in an old hunting cabin his father had once used, Jack placed her gently on a bed. He closed the door and locked it. He took off his jacket and covered her. For a moment, everything was quiet. Jack looked at the alien's face. She was young, maybe not very different in age from him. Her breathing was slow, her armor was damaged. Her hands had long fingers, and one of them clutched a small, glowing device. He touched it. It blinked twice, then turned off. "What are you?" he whispered. The alien moved a little and opened her eyes again. They looked at him, tired, but no longer afraid. Jack gave her water. She didn't drink at first. Then slowly she took a sip. "We're not enemies," he said softly. She blinked, then tried to speak, but no words came out, only a soft, broken sound. Jack sat beside her, unsure of what to do next. The military would search for him. He had gone against orders. He had saved an alien life, but something told him he had done the right thing. He looked outside. The sky was still dark, stars shining above. "She fell from the sky," he whispered. "And now everything is going to change." Far away, search drones flew through the trees. Soldiers were coming. Time was running out, but Jack had made his choice, and he would protect her, no matter the cost. Enemy in my cabin. The cabin was silent, but Jack's mind was not. He kept checking the window every few minutes, watching the dark trees, listening for sounds, boots, drones, dogs, anything. That might tell him they were close. But the only sound was the wind outside and the quiet breathing of the alien girl inside. She was still asleep, wrapped in his old jacket, lying on a dusty bed that hadn't been used in years. Her face was calm now, but her body was weak. Jack could see her skin turning pale blue in patches. Something inside her was breaking down. She needed help. But he couldn't take her to a hospital, not unless he wanted to watch them cut her open. Jack stood near the doorway, rifle in hand, eyes wide awake. He had gone from soldier to fugitive in just one night. All for someone he didn't even know. Someone not even human. And yet, something about her made him care. Not because she was beautiful or strange, but because when she looked at him, she didn't see a weapon. She saw a chance. Morning came slowly. The light through the trees touched the cabin windows, and the alien stirred. She opened her eyes and looked around, confused. When she saw Jack, she tried to sit up quickly. But pain shot through her body and she gasped. "Easy," Jack said, raising his hands. "You're safe, at least for now." She didn't understand all his words, but she seemed to catch the meaning. Her eyes scanned the room, then landed on the bandage Jack had placed on her arm. It was rough work, but it had stopped the bleeding. She looked at Jack again, puzzled. "I'm Jack," he said, pointing to his chest. He paused, then pointed at her. "You?" She stayed silent, eyes locked on him. Then slowly she spoke a word, her voice rough and dry. "Viola." Jack smiled. "Viola." It sounded gentle. Over the next few hours, Jack tried to help her eat and drink. She refused most of it until he took a small bite himself to show it was safe. Then she ate slowly, carefully, like she didn't trust anything yet. She didn't speak much. Just a few words in a strange language he didn't understand. But she used her hands to draw symbols in the dust on the floor. A star, a wave, a triangle with 3 dots. Jack didn't understand. "You're trying to tell me something," he whispered. "But I'm too stupid to get it." Viola looked at him, then took his hand. Her skin was cold, but her grip was strong. She touched the side of her head, then his. Then the stars again. "You were sent here?" Jack guessed. She nodded. "To warn us." A pause, then another nod. Jack sat back, heart beating fast. "But we shot you down." Vela's eyes turned dark. She touched her chest, then pointed outside. "Enemy?" he asked. She shook her head. Jack stared. "Then who tried to kill you?" Suddenly, a sound. Bzzzt. A sharp mechanical buzz cut through the quiet. Jack grabbed his rifle and ran to the window. A drone, tiny, black, fast, hovering just outside the trees. He cursed and ran outside. The drone turned, scanned his face, then started flying upward. Jack raised the rifle and fired. One shot missed. The second hit it. Sparks flew and it crashed into the bushes. Jack rushed over and picked it up. It was broken, but not before it had likely sent data back to HQ. "They know where we are," he whispered. Inside the cabin, Vela was on her feet, armor half glowing. Her body shook with effort, but her eyes were alert. "Ready." Jack slammed. The door shut and locked it. "We need to move now." Viola reached for a small device on her belt and pressed something. A soft blue light scanned the room, then faded. "Is that a weapon?" Jack asked. She looked at him and shook her head. Then she pointed to her own body and to his. "A shield?" he guessed. She nodded again. Jack didn't ask how it worked. He didn't care. If it gave them a few more minutes to run, that was enough. They moved quickly deeper into the woods. Jack led the way, but Viola kept up even while limping. She had a quiet strength, something he couldn't explain. She wasn't just a survivor, she was trained, disciplined, like a soldier, just like him. They reached an old cave system Jack used to explore as a kid. Hidden, cold, but safe. For now. Inside, Jack finally asked the question burning in his mind. "Why did you come here, Vela?" She looked at him. Then, using all the strength she had, she said in broken English, "Not war. Warning. Big danger. Coming." Jack's blood ran cold. "Danger from space?" She nodded. Then she held up 2 fingers, then pointed to herself, and then to him. "You and me?" Viola nodded again. Jack stared into the dark cave, then looked up at the stars through the cracks. She hadn't come to fight. She had come to save them. And now, Earth was hunting her. The bond, 2 worlds, 1 fight. The cave was dark, cold, and wet. But for now, it was home. Jack lit a small fire using old matches he had found in his bag. The light flickered against the walls, casting shadows that danced like ghosts. Viola sat across from him, still weak, her back against the stone. She didn't complain, not once. Jack handed her a protein bar and a bottle of water. She took both, nodded in thanks, and ate slowly. There were so many questions in his mind. Too many. But one thing was clear now. Viola hadn't come to Earth to start a war. She had come to stop one. Jack reached into his backpack and pulled out a small notebook and pen. "I need answers," he said. "I don't care how long it takes." Viola looked at the pen, then the notebook, and finally at Jack. She nodded once. They began slowly. She would speak a word, then Jack would repeat it. They used symbols, drawings, sounds. Bit by bit, they built a small bridge between 2 worlds, through language. After 2 hours, Jack finally asked, "Who's coming?" Vela looked down, then drew something in the dirt with the stick. It was a ship. A massive one with many smaller ones flying around it like insects. Then she drew a planet, Earth, and a line between them. "Invasion?" Jack asked. Vela nodded. Jack's heart dropped. "When?" Vela held up 5 fingers. 5 days? She nodded. Jack stood up and paced. "Jesus, no one knows, and you were the only one trying to warn us." Vela added something else to the drawing, a symbol. It looked like a crest, or logo. Sharp angles, a circle with 3 spikes. Jack didn't recognize it. "Your enemy?" he asked. Viola shook her head. Jack frowned. "Then who?" She pointed at the symbol again, then to herself. His eyes widened. "Your own people?" Vela didn't answer. She just looked away. Jack felt a chill. "They betrayed you?" Still, nothing. But now he understood. Viola was a soldier, yes, but she wasn't on a mission for her people anymore. She had gone against them, just like Jack had gone against his. They were both outlaws now. Suddenly, the sound of boots crunching leaves echoed outside the cave. Jack jumped to his feet and doused the fire with his boot. Darkness returned. He grabbed his rifle and moved to the cave entrance. Slowly, carefully, he peered through a crack in the rocks. 2 soldiers, scouting. He heard one of them speak on a radio. "No sign yet. Drone went dark somewhere around this grid. Moving east." Jack stepped back. He turned to Vela and whispered, "We have to leave." But she didn't move. Her body shook, her breath short. Jack knelt beside her. Her skin was turning a darker shade of blue. Sweat ran down her neck. Her armor had a soft red glow pulsing near her chest. "What's happening?" he asked. Viola weakly touched the armor plate, then held up 3 fingers. 3 hours? Jack guessed. She nodded. "Until what? You die?" A pause. She nodded again. Jack's hands tightened into fists. He wasn't going to let her die. Not after all this. He opened her chest plate carefully. Beneath it, a strange device was glowing red like a broken heart. "Is this your life support?" he whispered. Vela nodded slowly. Jack thought hard. "I need to fix it, but I can't." She pointed to herself, then to Jack, then drew a square. Her ship. "You need something from your ship?" Nod. Jack understood. "If I can get it, I can save you." She looked at him with tired eyes, but her lips moved. "Danger. No, come back." Jack didn't hesitate. "I will come back. You saved us. Now I'll save you." He grabbed his backpack, checked his ammo, and gave her one last look. "I'll be back before the clock runs out." Then he was gone. The forest was alive with movement. Jack moved like a shadow between trees. The ship was 10 miles away. 10 miles of danger. Patrols, drones, traps, death. But he didn't stop. Each step forward was a promise to her, a promise to himself. Back at the cave, Viola lay still. Her eyes stared at the fire Jack had relit before leaving. She whispered in her own language, soft words, like a prayer. And then, for the first time, she smiled, not because she was safe, but because someone believed in her. At the crash site, Jack watched from the bushes. Soldiers surrounded the area, spotlights, cameras, scanners. The pod was being taken apart, and inside it, he saw the glowing blue box she had drawn in the dirt. Getting that box, he whispered, no matter what. The escape, run or die. Night had fallen again, but the crash site glowed like a city. Jack lay flat in the bushes, watching the scene through binoculars. The wrecked alien pod was surrounded by soldiers, drones, and floodlights. Heavy, machines were moving parts of the ship into trucks. Scientists in white suits examined every piece. They didn't know what they were looking at, but they knew it was important. And in the center of it all still was the glowing blue box, the one Viola needed to survive. Jack's heart beat faster. He didn't have a plan. He didn't have backup. But he had one goal: get the box, save her life. He waited until one of the generators at the site began to fail. The lights flickered for just a moment. That was enough. Jack slipped from shadow to shadow, using the noise of machines to cover his footsteps. A guard turned his head for a second. Jack was already behind a stack of crates. A drone passed overhead. Crouched under a metal platform. Closer. Closer. He reached the main tent where the blue box was kept. It was sitting on a table, connected to wires, flashing slowly. A scientist was writing notes nearby. Jack took a deep breath, gripped the knife on his belt, and tossed a stone across the clearing. Clink! The noise made the scientist look away. That was all Jack needed. He rushed in, grabbed the box, pulled out the cables, and sprinted into the woods. "Hey, stop!" Alarms screamed. Floodlights spun, drones launched. Jack ran like his life depended on it, because it did. Meanwhile, back in the cave, Viola was fading fast. Her breathing was slow. Her armor's lights were almost gone. She whispered Jack's name softly, barely moving her lips. "Jack." She held on, not to her strength, but to the memory of his face, the only human who looked at her not with fear but with hope. She closed her eyes. Jack kept running. Branches hit his face. His lungs burned, but he didn't stop. A spotlight found him. He rolled down a hill, crashing through bushes. A bullet grazed his shoulder. He bit down on his own arm to stop from screaming. He reached the river, just like in the old maps. Without thinking, he jumped in. The cold water hit him like ice. He held the box high above his head as he fought the current. Behind him, soldiers shouted. Dogs barked. Bullets hit the water, but the current was strong, and it took him away. Hours later, wet, bleeding, and exhausted, Jack returned to the cave. "Viola!" he shouted. No answer. He ran inside and found her still form near the fire. Her armor was completely dark. Come on, he yelled, falling beside her. He placed the glowing blue box on her chest. It clicked into place. Nothing happened. No, don't do this to me, not now. Suddenly, the box pulsed. Once, then again. A wave of soft light covered her armor. Her fingers twitched. Then her eyes opened. She looked at Jack for a long time. Then slowly she smiled. "You came back." Jack laughed, tears mixing with blood on his face. "I told you I would." She touched his injured arm gently. A soft pulse from her glove sealed the wound with blue light. "You saved me," she whispered. Jack sat back, still shaking. "Yeah, and nearly died doing it." They both laughed quietly, but it didn't last long. because now they knew the truth. The government had the ship. They would figure out the tech. And when they did, war was coming. Vela stood up slowly, stronger now. Her armor glowed again, but she looked different, tired, yet ready. Jack noticed. "What is it?" She looked at him. "I can't run anymore." "You don't have to," he said. "We hide, we survive, we figure something out." She shook her head. "No hiding. My mission is not finished." "What mission?" Vela touched her wrist. A small hologram appeared. It showed a map of Earth. But there were red zones marked military bases, satellites, communication centers. "They blocked my message," she said. "They don't want the truth to reach your people." "You mean, they stopped your warning?" "Yes, they want war. They think they can win." Jack stood silent. The people he once trusted had become the enemy. Vela looked at him. "I need to send the message from orbit, only way." Jack's eyes widened. "There's no ship." "There is one," she said. "Hidden, backup pod, North Mountains, but far. 2 days walk." 2 days, Jack repeated. "And soldiers will be hunting us the whole way." Vela held out her hand. "I can't do it alone." Jack looked at her hand, then took it. "Then let's finish what we started." In the distance, helicopters rose into the sky. A voice on the radio crackled. "Target spotted. The traitor has the alien. We go full force." The truth, the message from the stars, the wind howled through the mountains. Snowflakes drifted from the gray sky as Jack and Vela climbed higher. Their breath formed small clouds in the cold air. Behind them, nothing but silent forest. But Jack knew they were being hunted. Helicopters, thermal drones, kill teams all searching for the human traitor and the alien threat. But Jack didn't care. Not anymore. 2 days earlier, he was a loyal soldier. Now, he walked beside someone from another world, risking his life to save hers. Not because she was alien, but because she was telling the truth, and Earth didn't want the truth. They reached a steep cliffside. Viola stopped and placed her hand on a stone wall. A hidden scanner blinked. A faint chime echoed through the rock. Then with a deep rumble, part of the mountain opened. A secret hangar, buried in ice and stone. Inside was her backup pod. Sleek, silver, with lights flickering. Damaged, but intact. Jack stared. "You hid." "A second ship? Escape pod, emergency use only, no weapons, but one signal. Strong enough to reach the stars." She walked inside. The pod's lights came on. A small console lit up, filled with alien language. Jack stepped closer. "You're going to send your message now?" Vela didn't answer. She sat at the console. Her fingers moved quickly. Symbols danced across the screen. Then she stopped. Her face changed. Cold. Focused. "Jack," she said softly. "You need to see this." She pressed a button. A hologram appeared in the air. Not just a map, a video. It showed Earth's first contact, a secret meeting between Viola's people and human leaders. There were handshakes, gifts exchanged, talks of peace. But then, shots were fired. Viola's. Commander fell. So did the alien ambassador. The humans took the alien tech and blamed the aliens for the attack. Jack's mouth dropped open. "This was a setup?" Viola nodded. "They didn't want peace, they wanted our technology." She pressed another button. More videos appeared. Hidden labs, human scientists testing alien weapons, reprogramming drones, cloning armor, using her people's tech to prepare for war. "They think they can fight your enemies with our stolen tools," Viola said, "but they don't understand. What's coming is worse than they imagine." Jack felt sick. His own leaders had betrayed Earth, just to gain power. "You came to warn us," he whispered. "Yes," Vela replied, "but they shot me down. They wanted silence." She turned to Jack, her voice shaking. "They fear the truth more than they fear war." Jack clenched his fists. "We have to show this to the world." Vela nodded. We can. Once the pod's signal is sent, it will unlock a network. The footage will go everywhere. Earth can see the truth. She touched the panel. The console blinked once. Then again. Then. Red warning lights flashed. Jamming signal detected. Transmission blocked. Jack swore. They found us. Vela stood quickly. They are near. Less than 5 minutes. Jack grabbed his rifle and ran to the entrance. He looked through. Binoculars, black figures were moving through the trees. 3 choppers in the sky. Dozens of soldiers closing in fast. Too many, Jack said. We can't fight them all. Vela looked at the signal panel. We don't have to. I just need 10 minutes. I can boost the signal manually from the outside tower. Then go. I'll hold them off. No, she said. You're the one they want now. They'll shoot me on sight, but you're still one of them. Jack looked at her, surprised. They don't see me as a threat anymore, she said quietly. But you betrayed your own kind. Jack paused. She was right. He wasn't a soldier anymore. He was a threat to the lie. They worked quickly. Jack helped reroute power to the pod. Vila adjusted the signal range. Then she handed him a small chip. This contains everything. The message. The truth. If I fall, you must escape. You must deliver it. He took it. It felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Don't talk like that, he said. We're both making it. Vila smiled. You still have hope. You gave it to me. The sound of rotors grew louder. Snow blew through the hangar as the first drone entered, scanning the area. Jack aimed and shot it out of the sky. Then everything exploded into chaos. Soldiers stormed in. Flashbangs lit up the cave. Jack fought with fury, using every ounce of training he had. Vela climbed the side of the mountain to reach the comm tower. Her armor flickered as she climbed, shots hitting the rocks near her. Jack was pinned behind, crates, bullets flying past him. He looked up and saw her at the top, attaching the transmitter. 1 more minute, just 1 more. A sniper aimed. Jack saw the laser dot land on her back. No. He jumped out and fired, hitting the sniper first. But a second bullet hit Jack. He fell hard. Vela screamed, but she didn't stop. The signal activated. A giant wave of blue light burst from the tower. The truth was sent. Every screen, every phone. Every city. The truth reached Earth. Soldiers froze. Some dropped their weapons, others stood in shock. The world now knew. Their leaders had lied. War was coming, and the only ones who tried to stop it were hunted. Vela climbed down, gasping. She found Jack bleeding, barely conscious. You did it, he whispered. So did you, she said, holding his hand. He smiled, then closed his eyes. The betrayal. Who can you trust? Snow fell slowly over the mountain, covering blood, footprints, and broken weapons. The signal had been sent. The truth had gone out. And now, the world was on fire. News stations exploded with headlines. Alien ambassador shot by Earth's own leaders? Military hid first contact? Earth's war plans exposed by soldier-turned-fugitive. Social media went mad. Protests began. Cities filled with people demanding answers. Soldiers started refusing orders. Governments pointed fingers. Trust was broken. But deep in a secret military bunker, one general wasn't watching the news. He was watching Vela. Jack woke up in pain. His shoulder was bandaged. His body ached. He was lying on a metal bed, inside a white room. Bright lights, cold air, no windows. He tried to sit up. Couldn't. Chains. His arms and legs were shackled to the bed. Voices echoed from the hallway. He's lucky to be alive. Traitor or not, we need him. Jack's heart pounded. Where was Vila? A door opened. A man in a military uniform stepped inside. General Cray. Tall. Gray hair. Cold eyes. He pulled up a chair and sat beside Jack. You made quite a mess, son, the general said calmly. Jack stared at him. Said nothing. Cray continued. You broadcast alien propaganda. You turned your gun on your own. You saved an enemy of Earth. Why? Jack's voice was rough. Because the enemy was you? Cray chuckled. Wrong. I protect this planet. I prepare it for what's coming. That alien girl, she's just the beginning. She came to warn us. She came to control us. Jack's hands tightened in the chains. Cray leaned closer. Tell me where she is. Jack shook his head. I don't know. The general smiled. You will? Somewhere far below in a dark cell, Vela sat in silence. Her armor had been removed. Her wrists were bound with anti-tech cuffs. Her face was bruised, but her eyes were calm. Across from her sat a woman in a lab coat, Dr. Lane, Earth's top alien tech expert. Do you know why you're still alive? Dr. Lane asked. Vela didn't answer. We want your help, your knowledge, your ship. Still silent. Dr. Lane sighed. You're a soldier. You know what's coming. We could fight back, win. Vela finally spoke. You won't win. You'll die blind and alone. Back in Jack's cell, the door opened again. This time it was Mason, Jack's old teammate, best friend. The guy who once said, I'd take a bullet for you, now standing with 2 armed guards. Jack's heart dropped. Mason. Mason looked away. They said you were working with it, that you betrayed us. I trusted you. I trusted you, Mason said, stepping closer. And you lied to me. Jack's voice shook. I saved a life. She came to warn us, Mason. We were the bad guys. Mason stared at him. You're not the Jack I knew. Jack leaned forward. No, I'm better. You should be too. Mason looked torn, angry, confused. He stepped out, but didn't lock the door. That night, alarms rang across the base. Breach detected. Sector 4. Repeat. Breach detected. Dr. Lane rushed to the lab. Vela's cell door was open. Inside, only the cuffs and a blinking device. Boom. A flash grenade exploded in the hallway and lights went out. From the shadows, Jack appeared limping, holding a stun rifle. Vela stood beside him, holding a stolen guard's weapon. How? Dr. Lane gasped. Jack smirked. Some people still care about the truth. They ran through the base, avoiding cameras, ducking under alarms. Smoke filled the hallways. Red lights flashed. At the exit, they saw a shadow waiting. Mason. Jack raised his rifle. Mason raised his hands. No gun. You have 30 seconds, he said. That's all I can give you. Jack stared. Why? Because I saw the video. I believe you now, but after this, I can't help anymore, Jack nodded. Thank you. They ran. Outside, a truck was waiting. A friend of Jack's from the protests had stolen it. Inside was gear, med kits, and a backup transmitter. They sped into the night. Inside the truck, Jack looked at Vela. You okay? She nodded. Thanks. To you. But Jack was shaking. I trusted my leaders. My friend. Everything I knew was a lie. Vela placed a hand on his. I was trained to fight humans, she said quietly. But you showed me something different. Jack looked at her, eyes heavy. What now? Vela turned to the stars above. Now. We tell them the whole truth, not just about Earth, about what's coming. Suddenly the truck shook. A blast hit the road behind them. A drone was following. Then another. A voice echoed from the speakers. You can't run forever, Reynolds. This ends now. The uprising, not just a soldier. The road burned behind them. The stolen truck skidded across the mountain path, tires screeching. Smoke rose from a drone blast that had nearly flipped them. Jack tightened his grip on the wheel, blood still dripping from his side. Vela looked out the window, eyes sharp. 2 more drones, high, scanning. I see them, Jack said. We're not going to make it far like this. Suddenly the road split. To the left, a government checkpoint. To the right, a tunnel. Old, abandoned. Jack hit the brakes and swerved right. They disappeared into the darkness. Deep inside the tunnel, they stopped. Jack leaned against the wall, breathing hard. We can't keep running. Viola didn't speak. Instead, she pulled out the small transmitter from her bag, the same one Jack had saved from the mountain pod. It's ready, she said. One more signal, stronger. This one won't just show Earth the truth. Jack looked confused. Then who? She met his eyes. My people, the rebels, the ones who believe peace is still possible. Jack stared at her. You never came here alone, did you? Viola shook her head. I came first. A scout. But if I fail, they'll think Earth doesn't want peace. They'll give up. Or worse, join the war. Jack's heart pounded. So this isn't just about warning us. It's about warning them. Yes, she said. If I send this message, everything changes. Jack helped her power the device. As it booted up, a soft blue light filled the tunnel. Vela hesitated. What is it? Jack asked. She looked at him. If I send this, I might never go home. They'll know I've gone too far, helped a human, broken the code. Jack's voice was soft. Then don't do it. Viola looked at him in surprise. He continued. Not because I want you to stop, but because I don't want you to lose your future for us. She stepped close. I already chose my future, she said. I chose it when I saw you lower your gun instead of pulling the trigger. They stood in silence. Then she placed her hand on the transmitter and hit send. Miles away, screens lit up across the globe, not just showing what Earth had done wrong, but what was coming next, the true enemy, ships larger than cities, beings not interested in peace or power, but harvest, conquest, a race that wiped out civilizations without warning. Viola's people had been hiding them for years, and now they were coming for Earth. A countdown appeared on screens worldwide. Days. That's all Earth had. The world changed overnight. Protests turned into revolts. Military units split. Some still followed General Cray. Others followed their conscience. People began asking the same question. Who do we trust now? Back in the tunnel, the peace didn't last. Soldiers arrived, not just any soldiers. Black Force, Cray's private unit, fully armed. No questions asked, no mercy. Jack and Vela ran. Gunfire filled the air. Stone cracked. Sparks flew. They fought back together. Jack with his rifle, Vela with the last of her armor tech. She used a small energy pulse to knock back 2 enemies. Jack shielded her from fire and took one out with a stolen sidearm. But then, a shot hit. Viola in the leg, she collapsed, screaming. Jack dropped to his knees beside her. Leave me, she said. Go. No, Jack said, eyes full of rage. Not this time. He stood up, unarmed now, hands raised. The soldiers closed in. Their leader stepped forward. General Cray. You really think the world will follow your little alien girlfriend? He growled. Jack stood firm. They won't follow her. They'll follow the truth. Cray aimed his pistol. Then, a flash. From behind the soldiers, a new group emerged. Humans, protesters, soldiers who had switched sides, and leading them, Mason. Jack blinked in disbelief. Mason raised a weapon. Stand down, Cray. Cray laughed. You wouldn't dare. Mason fired. Cray fell. Silence followed. Then cheers. Then tears. Jack dropped beside Vela and held her tightly. You made it, she whispered. No, he said. We did. 1 week later, a ship hovered in the sky. Sleek, quiet, peaceful. Vela stood at the loading ramp, her armor repaired. Jack stood below. You sure you want to go? He asked. She nodded. I must. I need to speak for Earth now. Show them that not all humans fear peace. He smiled. And you showed us. Not all aliens want war. She stepped forward and touched his face gently. I'll be back, she said. We still have a fight to win. Jack grinned. We always will. The ship rose. The sky parted and Earth and was never the same again.